Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy. If you're new here, thanks so much for coming. And if you're not new here, thanks for coming back. So today is 30 weeks. We're doing a 30-week pregnancy update. 30 weeks. That means I have 10 weeks to go. That means I have 70 days to go. Not that we're counting, but we are. And it's not because I'm horribly uncomfortable. It's because I'm super anxious to meet this little guy. I'm so excited. So anyway, we're going to just jump into our I always want to say 38 weeks, and I don't know why I keep wanting to say 38 weeks. I've said it every time I've talked to myself or out loud about filming this update. 30 weeks. Anyway, so if you want to see what's going on at 30 weeks, then just keep watching. Okay, so first things first, 30 weeks, we have 10 left, theoretically 10 or less, hopefully. I do have a history of delivering slightly before my estimated due date. I don't know if that'll be any different this time. I am very aware of my cycles, so I know pretty much within a day or two at the most of the date that I ovulated with each of my pregnancies, and so there has not been a lot of guesswork on the due dates, but this time obviously we know for sure because it was an IVF pregnancy, so we know that my due date, or exactly 40 weeks, 38 weeks technically from ovulation, is, you know, we know exactly when that date is, so it's not a guessing game. But with Emma, I delivered 10 days before my estimated due date. Alex was an induction on my due date, and then the other two were 9 and 8 days prior to their estimated due dates respectively. So if we keep with the pattern, and I'm 7 days before my estimated due date. Anyway, but the important part is that he is growing, he is healthy, he's about 16 inches and 3 pounds right now. Of course, like I always say, those are semi-subjective. I have short babies. My longest baby was 19 3/4 inches. My husband and I are 5'5" and 5'4" respectively, so we're not going to produce any basketball players. It is what it is. But anyway, he's about 16 inches. Though right now, most of his length growth is getting ready to kind of wrap up, and mostly he's building fat now. For those of you that follow along for this part, he is about the size of a bunch of broccoli. Or, if you're into the 80s nostalgia or Toy Story, he's about the size of a real-life Slinky Dog toy. From this point forward, he'll gain about ½ pound a week, and again, that is subjective. But if he gains ½ pound a week, that puts him about 5 more pounds. If he's 3 pounds out, that puts him at about 8 pounds, which is right around average. My other children were 7 pounds. I can do this. 7 pounds, 15.5 ounces for Emma, 8 pounds, 8 ounces for Alex, 8 pounds, 4 ounces for Jacob, and 9 pounds, 3 ounces for Lily. So my babies are between 8 to 9-ish pounds. So that's kind of where I'm expecting him to be. I don't really have a good feel for if I think he's, big or small. I feel like he's smaller, really, than the other ones. But I mean, it's hard to tell at this stage because they're so tiny anyway. We'll revisit that later. So other developmental milestones for baby is his brain is starting to grow. Up until this point, it's been very smooth. It's starting to get wrinkled to make room for more brain tissue as he forms more of those neural pathways. The lanugo, or the downy fur kind of skin covering. Let me try this again. The lanugo, which is a down-like covering of hair that keeps them warm when they're smaller or less developed, is starting to disappear as he develops more fat on his body that will then keep him warm. And his bone marrow is now starting to make red blood cells. So he's doing a lot of important work in there right now. Let's talk about what I'm doing out here. All right, so as far as me goes, I have to pee all the time. In early pregnancy, having to pee all the time is a hormonal thing. It's because your blood volume is increasing, your kidneys are doing more work, they're processing harder, so there's more pee coming. Now, it's because my bladder can't hold as much as it normally would because there's a baby on it. So instead of hormonal driven, it's baby driven. So I have to pee literally all the time. I could go pee and 10 minutes later I'm like, oh, I'm a little uncomfortable. I feel like I need to pee. It's never ending. I mean, it will end eventually, but right now I have to pee all the time. That's fun. My boobs are super producers. They take their job of feeding a baby very seriously. I can already, it's normal for you to start producing pre-milk, or colostrum is what they call it, around 18 to 20-ish weeks, but most people kind of don't notice because it's not easy to express. As you near your due date, you may notice it more, and that is the first nutrition that your baby gets. That being said, I can already freely express colostrum from both sides, so I'm not real worried about baby getting nutrients in those first few hours. Breastfeeding's never been a problem for me production wise. In fact, with my first two, I had like really strong letdown, a really, we'll call it an aggressive letdown reflex, to the point where we actually thought that Alex may have like pyloric stenosis, because my dad had it. It can be hereditary. It's most common in firstborn boys, but it turned out that he was just getting too much air and choking on my letdown, and so spitting everything right back up. Anyway, all of that to say, my boobs are starting to do their job, producing colostrum, which is good. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired because I'm growing a human. I'm tired because I'm raising 4 humans. I'm tired because I can't sleep. I'm so tired, but I can't sleep. I can go to sleep, like I lay down and usually I fall asleep fairly easily. But once I'm awake, and then I have trouble getting back to sleep, and Lily's been waking up a lot lately, and then I have to pee, and like there's just a lot to wake me up, and then getting back to sleep is difficult. So I wake up in the morning and I feel like I'm dragging my butt out of bed and I don't want to. So I'm tired. It's fine. It's not awful. Usually once I get going for the day, I'm good, but when it's bedtime, I'm ready for bed. But yeah, I mean, that basically summarizes where we're at. I have been having more round ligament pain and some like pubic bone pain, just because around now, like, your body will start producing relaxin, which helps the tendons and stuff to relax and the bones to spread, which helps the baby to exit. It also causes some pain and discomfort. So I am dealing with that, but it's not awful. I have definitely had it worse with previous pregnancies, and I anticipate that it will probably get worse with this one because he's still small. Once he gets bigger and he engages in my pelvis, I am sure that that pain is going to be more frequent and possibly more intense, and it is what it is. It's fine. I'm just going to be thankful that it's not that yet. So yeah, that's kind of, I mean, where we're at. He moves a lot. He flops around. It's real easy to see. Tim likes to sit and talk to him, and his favorite thing to do is to stop moving when Tim wants to feel him move. So yeah, that's fun. He's ornery. And yeah, that's basically where we're at pregnancy wise. So I was just gonna run over a few of the things. So like, what are we doing to get ready? We only have 10 weeks left, potentially 9 weeks left. So we're gonna treat it like 8 weeks left, just to make sure we get done. So what are we doing to prepare for the arrival of the baby? Well, as far as the baby coming, birth goes, I do need to gather a few items before he's born, obviously, just like nursing pads, newborn size diapers. I have one small package, but I'll need more. Pads for me for postpartum, just little things like that. Like, I don't have that stuff yet, so I will go out and get those things before he's born. But otherwise, as far as the birth goes, I mean, like, we're ready to have the baby. Things that I want to get done before he comes. We're just finishing up. I want to finish up the house stuff that we've started. So I want to finish getting all the carpet out, because we ripped the carpet out of most of the house. There's just carpet in my room and in the kids' closets. So the goal is to have that out before he gets here, because I don't really want to be pulling up carpet and knocking up dust, which is gross and Lord knows what's in it, while we have a tiny little newborn baby in the house. And I would like to get the trim in the hallway and the bedrooms painted. We're repainting the trim with it's like the Glidden gel trim and door paint. It's super high gloss. It goes on super smooth, and it's like super durable and easy wipe and easy clean, but it smells to high heaven. It is so, like, the fumes are awful, and so I don't really want that around him either. So we want to get that done, and then just like little things, like we started our project of moving the washing machine back to the back near the dryer because they weren't together. And so that area where the washing machine was is going to be our pantry, but we don't have shelves in it. So I'd like to get shelves so that we can move the food out of the kitchen into the pantry and actually have that shelf space so that we can just kind of get everything organized and decluttered so that there's more of a kind of flow to the housekeeping, just to simplify things. My sister is coming right around his due date. So she will either be here hopefully right before he is born or just, you know, within a day or two after. It's obviously difficult to time those things, but she is here from the beginning of the month and then to a couple days past my estimated due date. So she will hopefully come and get to see him. And then after that, some friends of ours are coming in from Oregon at the end of the month in April. So we do have some people coming, so I want to get those projects kind of done as well because I don't want to spend my postpartum recovery time stressing about trying to make the house appropriately livable for other people. But yeah, that's basically it. There's a few, we're watching sales on a few things that I want to buy. I want to get a glider recliner, like a rocking chair, but like recliner style. So not just, you know what I'm talking about, like not just the glider rocker, but one that like can recline. So a glider recliner. I want to get one of those for our room for the baby, and really that's the only kind of huge purchase that we're making that's not really essential but kind of essential, because Tim does a lot of the nighttime parenting with me, and he really would like a nice comfortable place to sit and rock the baby if he needs to go back to sleep, or if he's fussy, like if he's, when he gets a little bit older, if he's eaten and he's, you know, just needing to go back to sleep. Anyway, so we're keeping an eye on those things to see if they go on sale. But otherwise, yeah, we're just kind of waiting. There's not a lot to do now. Just grow a baby and then meet him. So yeah. So I mean, aside from finishing up things, the only thing left is belly pictures. We are rearranging our bedroom, so I don't really know where to stand for this. I will put up, I'm gonna put up some pictures here. So these are pictures I took them 2 days ago, so they're slightly before 38 weeks, but this is my 38-week belly from the side and from the front. So you'll see that it's all still kind of just baby out front, whole lot of baby out front. There's gonna be a whole lot more baby out front before we finish this, but it is what it is. I hope that you enjoyed this 30-week update of our pregnancy with baby number 5. If you did and you want to see future updates, subscribe below so that you don't miss them when they come. I'm trying to do every 2 weeks from this point forward. I will probably pre-film a hey, I'm having a baby video just to put up in case I don't have anything to put up because I'm having a baby. And then in the coming weeks, I actually have filmed, if you were interested, I know I've mentioned that this pregnancy was an IVF pregnancy, dealing with secondary infertility. I did post a secondary infertility video prior, but I am going up next week. We'll have a IVF video about my IVF process, and then in a couple weeks following that, a video about what we plan to do with our leftover embryos that are currently frozen. So if those two things are things you're interested in, check those out or subscribe as well so you don't miss those and you can check them out when they come up. Otherwise, I will see you back here real soon. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again. Bye.